guys, we needed to play cleaner, and we didn't, and with the penalties and things of that nature in the first half, but we seemed to make some good adjustments in the second half. When you're able to run the ball like that, that usually helps, and really proud of these guys sitting next to me, and obviously they'll be the first ones to tell you it starts up front, and the guys were opening the holes, and then the opening kickoff return in the second half was the spark we needed, I think, to get us the momentum and get it going, because it was nip and tuck there for a while in the first half. But really proud of the team's resilience, kept fighting, very physical game, and just really happy. I would have rather gone up 10 or 14 there at the last drive, but really happy that we came out with a victory.
Jabril, can you talk about the return? I mean, what you were seeing when you got the ball and it took off?
Yeah, well, you know, the entire season we kind of always been close. You know, I've kind of always been like a step away, but you know, Coach Ferrante coming out of half said that special teams is always the spark of the team. So, you know, special teams we already knew what the job was, and he kicked it to me. You know, obviously, you know, caught it, and then I seen it over, and I just won.
And did you think you were going to go all the way when we saw the opening?
Yeah, absolutely.
And David, can you talk a little bit about the running game? How much, especially in the second half, did that turn the game in your favor?
I mean, I feel like for offense, you got to be able to have a dominant run game, and that starts with the guys up front. When you got guys like Picard, Steph, Kyle, Chris, Temmie, like, it's just easy. It's simply so easy because, like, you know they're going to do their job. Even when Nolan Clayton's pulling, it's like you can just try. I have full trust in him that he's going to go do his job, and then I just got to do my part. So I feel like with those guys up front, I don't think there's a team that can stop us, especially in the second half when we start running downhill.
David, you know, you're back-to-back 100-plus rushing yards in a game, 3 touchdowns back-to-back. You know, before this game, you kind of talked about how none of that matters unless that team comes out with a win. Could you kind of talk about what it feels like to put together a solid offense and also come out on the other side with a victory?
I mean, it's awesome, and it's just the fact that we did it together, we did it as a team. You can't do anything solo in the game of football. That's why there's 11 men on the field. So the fact that we were all able to like be in tandem, like offense, defense, O-line, running backs, even the linebackers, the way they were playing with the D-line, it's just awesome. Like, I love winning together, and there's no solo wins. It's always a team win. So I feel good.
David, what can you say about chunk plays? I think you had 7 carries or receptions that were more than 10 yards.
I mean, those are cool. I mean, I love getting first downs. So I can't lie. Sometimes I'll look at my average. I try to keep it above 5, because I feel like on the first down, if you get 5 yards, it puts the quarterback in a good spot, puts the OC in a good spot to call the right play. So I got to do my job on first down and get those first 5 yards. If it's 10, then I'll be more happy.
Mark, can you talk defensively? I mean, the first half, both teams were kind of running down the field. What do you think allowed the defense to emerge, especially in that second half?
Yeah, we just started getting off the field on third downs. We started playing a little better coverage. They did convert a couple of us, but not nearly the percentage they hit in the first half. And we started playing a little smarter. You know, how many false starts, defensive offsides did we have? I mean, I think we had 2 back-to-back that gave them first down. So if you eliminate those plays and make them earn it, you know, we gave them some things. And I'm not trying to take anything away from William Mary because they're a very good football team. But you can't give them first downs with penalties. You can't give them the big explosives. And obviously you can't have them convert on 3rd and, you know, 10 plus. And they did that in the first half. We were able to stop that in the second half. And we got a better pass rush out of them too. Started rotating some more guys through there and, you know, put a little more pressure on him. So I think we just made a little halftime adjustments, a few things, called a couple different things, nothing too crazy, but I think our guys just played smarter.
But the way that game was going to, it looked like maybe a defensive stop or a special teams play may put the momentum in your favor. And you alluded to that, but how much did that special teams play a little more?
Huge, huge. That was the spark we needed. Hopefully this win is the spark we need to move forward to the next one because, you know, you're always hoping for that turnover. Steal a possession, get a turnover. We had one, but then we got called for pass interference as opposed to, you know, coming down with the ball and those types of things. So, you know, we haven't turned the ball over a lot, thankfully, but we haven't gotten many either. So if we can start creating some turnovers, then that'll just help us from the defensive side of the ball.
Coach, how big was it by your defense to get that sack to end the game?
Oh, huge. I don't know what they were going to do. I don't know if they were going to try to, you know, throw what we used to call in the old days a hook and ladder and start lateraling the ball all the way trying to get to the end zone, if they were going to just rear back and try to throw the Hail Mary to the end zone, but the fact that they didn't even get the ball thrown is a bonus.
And what can you take away from this game going into your next one? This was your first conference win today.
Yeah, anytime you go 1-0, that's a great thing. I say this all the time, regardless of the score, regardless of the outcome, there's always going to be some positive plays we can build upon, and I know there's going to be positives in this game that hopefully we can continue to, play consistently with those positives, and there's going to always be correctables. So we'll fix the correctables because I'm sure there's going to be plenty there as well, and we'll take this momentum and basically we'll put this in the rear view after 24 hours. Whether you win or lose, it's forgotten by Sunday evening, and we get ready to go for the next one on Monday.
Coach, to go off that sack, Shane had that at the end. He had 4 tackles for loss today, 10 tackles, double digits. What have you seen from him this season, stepping up as a senior, being able to, get pressure into the backfield and be able to get tackles for loss?
Yeah, Shane is Shane. Shane's our leading tackler for 2 years, and whether he ends up that again this year, I'm not sure, but right now he's probably on a track to do that, and he's just a really good linebacker and a really good football player. So a lot of experience, and he knows how to slip through blocks and take those openings to get those plays behind the line.
Jabril, it looked like William & Mary's last defender kind of closed the gap a little bit. Did you notice how close he was behind you, or were you just focused on the end zone once he broke free?
No, yeah, I noticed him, but Coach Ferrante always preaches if you get caught by the kicker, then you're not going to be kick returning here. So I know I had to score. So.
Jabril, when you look at your role, especially this year, becoming more involved in, punt returns, maybe adapting from where you were last year, more in routes, getting some carries here. Can you just kind of speak about, your role this year, how much pride you take in being able to return punts and kind of how everything's going for you so far in the first 4 weeks?
Yeah, well, obviously, it's obviously to the coaches because they believe in me to play the role. So, obviously last year, I didn't get a lot of touches, but then this year I'm starting to get a lot of touches. I'm just taking advantage of every opportunity that I get.
Coach, and then also on that offense, Luke Colella has kind of become, one of the main targets here, coming in as a transfer. 9 catches last week for a career high. What have you seen from him tonight? He had some big plays, that 15-yard pass that led to David's touchdown. What have you seen from him?
Yeah, he's been great. He's got great speed. He plays hard. He practices the way you see him play. So he goes a million miles an hour all the time. And I'm sure he'll say he wishes he had a couple back. But he's been a nice add to our program, and he's a guy that I think Pat is really gaining confidence with.
What can you say about your secondary? A lot of young guys, some veteran transfers, but how they sort of gel in the second half.
Yeah, it's going to take time for the guys to come together. We had an experienced secondary for, the same 5 guys started for pretty much 3 years in a row. Now we got a bunch of new guys. Some of them have experience. Some of them came from other programs with experience. So now they got to just get used to playing together. They're just they had some chunk plays, and we're just not quite in the right position. They had a couple plays down the middle where we should have a guy underneath that, but for whatever reason, he's just off a little bit. So it just takes timing, and hopefully we'll be able to use that momentum of today and, have an opportunity. We had some good pass breakups in the second half. So, and some of them were in position. You just got to give the receiver credit for coming down with it sometimes.
Coach, what did you make of Pat McQuaid's performance today? Almost 200 yards again. Maybe he wasn't as efficient as he was in the game against Colgate. Also just seemed like maybe his foot or ankle, something was bothering him at some point. What can you say about his toughness to stay in the game?
Yeah, it looked like he's a tough guy. It looked like he got rolled on a little bit early in the first half, and so the ankle, he started limping around a little bit. But he's a really good football player. He's smart with the ball. He manages well. He doesn't take a lot of chances when he puts the ball up there. He kind of knows where he's going with it, and he knows when to hand it off and knows when to maybe pull it and try to get the ball down the field on some of the RPO games. So he is a headsy guy, and he seems to be doing a good job leading the guys because he's probably the most vocal guy we have on offense right now.
Anything else?
Awesome.
All right, thanks guys.
Thank you all for being here.